Hello and welcome back to Organic Cardboard. My name is Owen Kneep, and today I'm once again over at Sean's house doing the only recording that I do these days because I've been stuck playing Baldur's Gate 3 at home. You've been wondering why I haven't been putting out much content, but I will get more back into it once I start to allocate my time more appropriately.
Or maybe you start a video game channel.
Yeah, right. No, I'm definitely not planning to start a video game channel anytime soon. But today we're going to play Radlands. Radlands is a game that I think is a little bit of a sleeper of a game. Like, for some reason, this really didn't get a whole lot of attention, but a lot of anybody that's played it has loved it. And as always said, it's underrated, or just it hasn't gotten the attention that it really deserves.
I think that happens a lot with the less expensive games too. They people assume that maybe it's not as much fun, but it's great.
Yeah, it's an excellent game. It's cheap. You can get it for under $20 pretty readily. Just look around. It probably retails for $20, but you can find it for quite a bit cheaper. Plays in about 20 to 40 minutes is what it says. It kind of depends. Some of your games go really quick, some stretch out a little bit, but it's 14 and up. It's only 2 players. It's a head-to-head game where you are kind of in this post-apocalyptic theme, and you have these camps. Each person's got 3 camps, and the goal of it is that you're trying to destroy the other person's camps. So you've got 2 rows of people that you'll be able to put out, and those people will protect your camps, because damage normally has to go through the people before it can hit the camp that's behind it. And then your camps have abilities, your cards have abilities. They have abilities both once they're played into their play space, or you can junk the card by just discarding it, and it has a little one-time effect that you get for free whenever you do that. The game's all based around this economy of water. So you've normally on a turn you'll have only 3 water to spend, and all your cards cost water to play out. It costs water to do most any of your actions. And so you'll usually be pretty limited on water. With the theme playing out is that I guess water is a very valuable resource in this wasteland that you're playing in. It's got a pretty kind of psychedelic pink psychedelic theme color scheme going on with it. But Sean and I have played this a couple times together. I've played this several times myself. I usually always start with these suggested starting outposts or camps that they will tell you to use. But normally when you're playing the game, after you played through the first game, you'll do a draft. You got a whole deck full of these camps, and you get to shuffle them and just pick 3 out of 6. Everybody gets 6 cards drawn to them, and then they'll pick 3 out of what they like. And then you'll reveal them together, and then you'll play from there. Each one of your camps is going to have a number off to the left of it too that shows what your starting hand is. So each of us ended up drawing camps that equaled out to having 3 cards in our hand. So we've already done that. And so the camps that we selected, I have the command outpost, and its ability is if I pay 3 water, I can do a damage. I can just send a damage in one of these lanes. It's one of these columns that are going to be again developed as we're putting people out. So I can pick which column it goes to. If there's nobody in front of a camp, it can damage a camp. Each card can take 2 damage before it's destroyed. If a camp's destroyed, there's usually no way to bring it back. There's some very rare, odd, camp abilities that might be able to bring back a busted camp. But normally, once the camp's dead, it's gone. Don't worry about it. Protect the rest of your camps and keep going. So I've got that command outpost. 3 water, I can do a damage once I have a punk out. Punks are going to be these cards that get played out that are they're just basic people. They can only actually take 1 damage. You don't ever actually see what they are when they're played as a punk. Their other side is always going to have some individual character or event ability on it. But the punks will go just like regular people in the rows. And so if I have extra punks out then it'll decrease the cost of its ability by 1 water for every punk that's out. So I'm going to be looking to put punks out if I can to make that work for free even for me if I have 3 out. Then I've got the Scud Launcher, 1 water. It does just a simple damage, and he gets to decide where that damage goes. So it's a cheap ability to use, but he gets to pick what gets damaged. And then I have the Outpost that can either do a raid action of 2 water, or it can do a heal action of 2 water. So it can take a card that's damaged and write it back up. But when they're damaged and they're healed, they can't be used that turn.
And on the cool side of the apocalyptic desert,
yeah, right.
We've got
cool camps.
I've got a scavenger camp, which is going to let me. I could pay 2 water and I guess do a raid.
Yep.
And I could also pay 1 water and repair something if the raider, if I resolve a raider event that turn.
Yeah.
And
or it just has to be. Oh, it has to be resolved that same turn. Yeah, so he has to wait until the raider is resolved.
And so I can't like use it to do the raid and then also do that part. I could do one or the other. It's kind of situational, but and this one is the arcade. If I have 0 or 1 people, I can add a punk.
Yep, for 1 water.
For 1 water, and another thing for 1 water, advance any event by 1.
Yep. So
it's a good synergy between these 2 things.
The events, the raid action is a special event. You always have a raider card available, and it'll pop over. You've got a lane that counts down from, it goes from 3, 2, 1. So the raiders always start in the 2 spot. They got a little bomb symbol here that shows a number 2 that shows what part of that lane. And so every time it's the beginning of your turn, all of your events are going to move up. And then it'll resolve if at the beginning of your turn it was in the 1 space that it was about to resolve that very turn. And so if his raider, if he has it out and it's resolving that same turn, he can do a cheap heal for 1 water, which is nice. And then the water silo is going to come into effect when we were talking about economy of water. If you don't have anything that you can do, you can spend 1 water to take the water silo into your hand. And then on another turn later, you can spend that water silo to get a water back. And these cards will kind of always become available for you to then use again later on as the game goes.
Sort of storing water for later.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah, so
sort of.
The best cards in the game cost 4 water. You only get 3 water per turn, so you always have to have some way to gain a water. Whether you're junking a card that has a water value, or you have something like the water silo in your hand. So we're going to flip a coin to see who goes first. If it lands on water, I'll go first. It's landed on water, so I'm going to go first. So the very first turn, the person who goes first only gets 1 water to use. So they have kind of a weak turn, but they get to take the first action. So I'm going to draw a card, and we can... I'm gonna junk this card, and the junk values in the top left corner of these. Each of these cards has a little symbol. You got a little player aid that'll tell you exactly what each one of them does, but it has the punk symbol on it. So by junking it, it's going to go in the discard. And I'm going to take a card without looking at it, and I get to place this above somewhere. I think we'll go ahead and place it right here. And then I'll pay my 1 measly water that I have to put out... I'm going to put out this event card. So this costs 1 water to put out. It goes in the 2 spot, and once it's fully resolves, I'll get 3 punks out of it.
Oh Lord!
So it'll make this ability really cheap. So that's my 1 water of the play, and then I am done. It is now Sean's turn. Sean gets to draw a card.
Is it 1 card or is it 3 cards?
No, that's just the beginning.
So, that's your opening hand.
Opening hand. So some of the better camps that you get will usually have like a lower amount of cards that you can draw to kind of offset how good they are otherwise.
Interesting. Okay. So I am going to... I want to spend my water. That's 2 water to do that. Yep. I'm going to spend all 3 water here. I'm going to spend 2 water on this with this camp to bring my raider out.
Okay.
So he comes out right here on 2.
Now, when the raider resolves, it gets to damage a camp regardless of whatever's in front of it. But the other person gets to choose which camp gets damaged.
So he comes out right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to spend 1 here to go and move it up 1.
Okay.
You know what? Instead of doing that, I think what I'm going to do. No, you know what? I'll stay with that.
Stay with it. All right. He's got junk values that he can do in the cards in his hand, so that's what he's wanting to think about. So now it's my turn again.
So could you junk even after you've
Yep.
done all your water?
Junking is free.
Oh, but that's too good a card to do that with. Oh, Someone's hungry. I'm gonna junk. I want to junk this one to get another water.
Okay.
So I've got a water back, and I would like to spend it. You know what? I'll take all of that back. I apologize. Okay.
All right. So
It's important to be decisive.
So first things first, my vent will move up 1. I'll get my 3 water back. So now I actually have some water to spend, and I'll draw a card. And I want to use this before you get people out. So let's go ahead and put this water down here, and this is going to allow me to do damage. He gets to choose where the damage goes, so any one of your camps can get damaged.
Can you still use them when they're damaged?
Yes. Only camps can have their abilities still used while they're damaged. The people, if they're damaged, they can't use their abilities. They also can't use their abilities if you just place them out that same turn, or if you just healed them that turn. If they were damaged and you healed them, then they're not in effect until the next turn.
All right.
Okay, and I'm gonna we'll put this scout out. And we'll go ahead and put out this muse. Okay, so her ability is she'll give me a free water each turn. His ability is a 1 water to cause the raid to start. Oof. And that is my turn for now.
All right. So draw a card. Examine it. Wow. It can get really hard to choose.
It can. You got a lot of cards in your hand.
I want to spend that water, put this guy out.
Okay.
I want to spend another water right from here. It says if I have 0 or 1 people, I can put a punk out.
Okay.
I'll punk him out. Does this go first?
Oh yes, yeah. Your raid event took effect, so I have to choose a camp to get damaged. We'll damage this one.
All right.
So just put it sideways to show it's been damaged.
I'll spend my last water right here, and since that event resolved, I can do a repair.
Yep.
That's me.
All right. So I'm gonna get this resolved. So it's gonna put 3 punks out. Oops. I guess I was supposed to draw a card too. I don't know if that's supposed to happen before the event or what, but oh well. So,
What does it mean if it starts at 0? It'd be all the way back before the camp? Like an event one?
if it's 0, it happens immediately. If your event has a 0 on the bomb symbol, it will happen immediately.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess we can use her ability to give me an extra water. That's what these black waters are for, just additional waters. So she has been used. You can put it on the back side if you want to just show that something's been used.
Poor thing. Just getting used.
Then for 1, we can go ahead and put my raid card out. This ability is now free. I got a lot of water, but I don't have a lot of cards in my hand to do anything with. So let's go ahead and we'll use this, and then you can choose something to get damaged. So the punk immediately but when it's a punk that gets damaged, it just goes back on top of the deck.
Right, that's right.
And I'll go ahead and use this ability for free to do damage to somebody. So we'll go ahead and damage that guy, and then I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll just junk both of these. So one's going to do damage to a person, and then one's going to move my raid up 1. So he'll be destroyed. I've still got 2 water. Jeez.
How do you have so much water?
She gave me water, and this was free. I need to show that that's been used too. I think I'm just going to use the 2 water to heal this up. That'll be my turn.
Jeez, man. I'm feeling a little outnumbered here.
At the moment, yeah.
I may have to take I may have to take
drastic measures.
Yeah, in order to counter your highly offensive maneuver.
Yeah, you got one of the wipe abilities.
So I'm going to.
Yeah,
I guess it costs 2 to start this. Oh, I can't do it.
The game is like, you're never out on this game. Like, it can get pretty dicey looking, but it's not done until it's done.
Right.
There's quite a bit to mitigate.
So I'm burning this card to start an event. That's what I needed to happen.
That puts the raider out.
Well, it could also put one of these, right?
No, the raid
have these costs?
The raid is a special event. So the raid is just the
That's all that means. Mm-hmm. So you can't do that to push an event up. That's only these things. That's this thing. That's what that does, but not this.
Right.
And that, so their cost will be the water cost. So it's boom, boom. Boom, boom.
You got a lot of options. I'm trying not to look at your hand, but I know you've got a handful of cards over there.
3. Move up. 2. I can do that now. I can do it now. Okay. It's because I thought I had to pay 2 to bring it out. But that's not the case. So I'm going to go pay 0 to put this in 1.
Okay.
Right? Correct?
Yep.
And then I'm going to pay 1 to move it up and activate it.
So
it says rearrange your people. I have none. This turn, the opponent's cards are unprotected.
Right. So that means that you can hit anybody.
All right. And I will then pay my last 2 water to throw this 0-1 out, which will damage all unprotected enemies.
Okay, so, and that's only the people. But that'll take all my punks out. Oh, well, that's really good. And damage those 2. That's nice.
Is that a good retaliation?
Yeah.
I'm learning.
That's great.
I'm learning how to play it. Oh, I gotta change the battery. That was quick.
While he's fixing that light, I'm going to go ahead and set up for my next turn here. So my raider will resolve.
Gotta keep the pit lit.
Yes, sir. All right, so the raid resolved, so go ahead and pick a card to get damaged.
Oh.
And it's really tempting to just kill that thing. It's going to cost me all 3 of my water to do it.
Can you pick the camp?
Yeah, this one is just damage. Yeah, I think... What does that thing do?
Which one? This one?
0-1 people, you can put a punk out.
Yeah.
It's probably going to come haunt me later, but let's go ahead and do it. So we'll go ahead and destroy the first camp. Sometimes it's too early to be putting that much out to do that kind of stuff, but we're going to just do it. I'm trying to decide if I want to use this. Oh, man, decisions. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and junk this guy out to put the raider out. So the raider is in the 2 space.
Okay.
All right, that'll be my turn.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, the punks look pretty imposing when you put them all out on the board like that, but they're pretty weak. And like Sean just showed, you can clear them all out really quickly. And if they are out, like you can't put any people down. You can't switch out your people too, so they kind of junk up your space unless you have a way to utilize them like what that camp was allowing me to do.
All right. So for my turn, I'm going to do 2 here.
Okay.
Bring my raider out.
All right.
We'll do 1 here to move it up. I'm going to junk this scientist here to send it on up.
Resolve it. Okay. Go ahead and damage this one again. All right. Is it all your water?
That's it.
Okay. You drew a card too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I forget to do that a lot of the time. Yeah. Okay, so Raider moves up 1. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you pick one to get damaged. And I'm going to go ahead and just spend 2 water to heal her, and we'll go ahead and junk him to heal this guy. So these are not ready. Don't really have to do this, but just as a reminder, you can put the negatives there just to show that they're not ready because they just got healed. That'll be my turn.
Wow. Well, It's kind of hard to choose some of these things, but let's go. We'll spend 1, put him up. We'll spend another 1, put him up.
Now what does he do? Does he have a thing that, oh, never mind. Okay, I thought he was one of the ones that, some of them have like a when they come into play effect. His mutant is like, it doesn't cost anything, but he can do damage with it, but he has to damage the mutant to do so.
I'm going to take the water tower for
Okay.
my last water here.
Okay.
I'll just kind of get this to remind me next time I'll have that extra token to play.
Okay. All right. So my Raider event's gonna resolve. So you can go ahead and pick 1 to damage. Draw a card. So I get an extra water from her. So I should go ahead and spend a water on him to put the raider into play again. We'll spend a water here to let you damage a card of your choice. You can damage a camp if you want. Actually, it would have to be one of those two because it's just
It's just coming in.
well, technically it says one of your choice, so
You could choose whatever it is.
yeah, I guess technically you could choose, but and I'll go ahead and junk her to do a injury to the mutant. And now you can always spend 2 water to draw a card as well. So I'm thinking about doing that. Yeah, so I'll spend my last 2 water to just draw another card, which I could play immediately, but I'm not going to. All right, that'll be my turn.
Draw a card. Oh man, I'm not sure which way to go on this. So that's got 1 more before it comes.
2. It's in the 2 spot right now. It just got put out.
Lord. So I'm going to, I guess I'll go with plan A.
Plan A.
So I'm burning my silo to get my extra water. And it's a good thing because I needed that 4 waters to play this. Comes out on 3, which I was saying was all the way back at camp.
Uh-huh. What's it do?
No, you don't mind it. It's alright.
Dig.
This is a bombardment. It's going to do damage to all the camps. And then I get to draw if any of them are destroyed.
Ooh, wow.
Then I'm going to...
That'd been great for me to have on you.
So if the raider comes out, do they come out here?
No, it's so like normally if you're putting out an event and there's already an event in its space, it has to go behind it, but the raider goes in the 2 spot, so the raider would go in front.
So I could burn this card and put out a raider right in front of him.
Right. Sure could.
And yeah, I wish I had one of those. I guess I'll call it that.
All right. So I'll get my waters back. I'm just going to go ahead and just take my water and leave that because I'm sure I'm going to do that. Draw a card. That's nice. Okay, great. Can we do it? So the Raider goes up 1. Alright, so let you damage a card of your choice. The old Scud Launcher. So he's out. And then we'll destroy that. Well, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this is gonna work. So we'll use that, destroy that camp.
You get to pick the camp because it's unprotected, or
yeah, I'm just.
Or do I?
It's just it's normal straight damage coming at you, so I can choose which lane it's going in. So that's destroyed, and then that resolves the Raider. Ba-boom.
Wow, that was a quick game.
Yeah, yeah. It can come out kind of quick. I don't know. I mean that I kind of kept getting, like, she was really helpful. Super helpful.
She was broken.
Yeah, you gotta damage her.
I probably
early.
should have attacked her or something, but I never really had. I didn't have any offensive stuff. I had no guns, and my camps didn't do any damage at all.
Mm.
And then I never could, and you never will have people out when you play against Owen because he picks them all out. Somehow he's able to damage everybody. So for some reason I've never able to, like, kill all the little people and stuff that keep them from doing things.
Yeah, you know, we've had a couple games, I think, where I just kept getting everything that I needed, like that whole game, and that doesn't always happen that way. So there's certainly much hairier games that last longer. It can go really quick. I've had games where I destroyed like 2 camps like within the second turn, and then still lost. So, because I left all my camps unprotected to do so. So there's a lot of variation. There's a lot of variation in the camps themselves too. So like I've played the starting setup of this game like several times, to the point that I'm like, all right, let's do some of these new camps that I haven't used. So all these camps that I was using, I never used these before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so there's, I don't know, maybe 20 to 30 different camp cards. I'm not sure how many exactly are in that pile. So you have a good amount of variation in each game, and then you have to kind of play out the way that it works best. You know, like early on, I had that card that gave me 3 punks and allowed me to I had 4 punks really early. If Sean didn't have that card that obliterated them all, then that would have been a problem. There's a card in here too that'll just like wipe all the people off the board, but it like puts them back into the people's hands. And at that point, punks actually go back into somebody's hands too. And so, like, even though it was normally a card that wasn't like playable otherwise, then so it's a little dicey.
Those are really good, like, cards to get through drafting too. Like just a 1-2 punch with that, unprotect everybody, and then hurt all the unprotected people.
That was a great move. Yeah, that was exactly what I would have.
That was my power. One power move of the game.
You had a good one to clear the board. The problem was I was able to heal these 2 guys and then not get them damaged, and they kind of really made the game go real smooth for me.
And this would have been good too, but it certainly wouldn't have won me the game. But it went. This starts so low. What I should have done is use that to repair one of my camps.
Maybe.
And I would have had another turn or so.
Yeah, it would have been great if you had other things that moved the. If you had something else that moved your. Well, you can't move it up with the Raider card, but if you had other things that moved the events along, there's certain things. Well, you did. You had that ability.
I had this, but
move the events up. So, but you can only use the ability once per turn. So it's a little. It's just situational. But I've really enjoyed this game quite a bit. There's a lot of interesting scenarios, and it's really fun to see how the cards will synergize together. We didn't get any of the big people out in the game. There's like cards where they're really powerful people that cost like 4 cards to get them out. So yeah, your bombardment costed 4, right, to get them out. So that was an expensive one. That's an excellent card, though. God, if you had 2 of those, then you'd just kill somebody. So you could have a crazy lucky hand like that. They have a couple of these like noteworthy characters. Where are they? There's this guy. He just straight up destroys any one camp for 1 water. So if you get Mulgar staying out and you get him protected, that's the problem. He costs 4 water, and he's also a target. So it's like your whole turn to get him out. Plus, you'd have to be prepared to get him out anyways, because it's more water than you normally would have in hand.
But to get him out, protect him for a turn.
Oh man! And then he just straight up just starts bombing all the camps. So it's like you got these crazy people like that. There's at least one other one that.
Well, sometimes you could put people out to be a target to keep them away. Something that they've got to attack first,
right?
So they won't attack something else.
Yeah, he may be the only 4. Cost card person out. There's some 3 there are 3 water cost cards as well that are pretty powerful. There's Argo Yeskvi. Says all your people gain this card's ability, and when this card enters play, gains punk. So, like if you had a lot of other cards out, like and including punks, he's like the master of punks. So it would only cost 1 water to do damage. You get him out, put a punk in front of him, and if you have other cards out, all of them can do damage for 1 water, and so they just start popping off 3 damage each turn. So there's some neat ones. Yeah, Magnus Carve. What's that? 2 water. All cards in one of the opponent's columns are damaged. So he just straight up damage all the way through to the camp. So there's some neat, hard to get out cards in the game, but otherwise you're just looking for all the ways. Probably my favorite thing about the game is those junk abilities, because they let you do really powerful actions on your turns that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do, because they have those effects that normally you'd have to pay for, and water's so limited. If you start getting a big hand of cards, there's certain cards I think that lets you like. There's a lot of cards that just straight up let you draw a new card, so you can kind of cycle through the deck. There's camps that'll allow you to draw cards more easily, or like there's one camp I know that like you can pay 2 water and it'll let you like draw 2 cards and pick one. So there's ways that you can make those work really well.
7 icons. You learned the 7 icons. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7 main icons. Yeah, the most confusing thing is damage, because there's injury damage, and then there's just straight regular damage. And so the injury damage is it has to go towards a person. There's also
it's got the skull on it.
There's also a nuke symbol, radioactive symbol there that just straight up destroys something. So you just have to read off on the card. But I don't know. What do you think on the couple times that I beat you?
It's fun. It's fun.
It's neat.
I've gradually gotten a little bit better, and it is more fun. I think maybe the second or third time you play it, you really start to really get it. And what's cool is it's quick enough to where you can play a game and lose, and then play another game. You could beat up on me all night. Really.
Yeah, well, you'll start to get to where, I certainly never learned what cards have what junk value on them. I don't know if the same cards, because some of these cards will repeat themselves, and I don't know if they're always the same junk value on each one of them. but you do get familiar with the cards that are in the deck at least, so you kind of know what could come out, and that's certainly a replayability thing. But the camps are neat though, and like I said, I still do not know the camps because I haven't played with that many of them. So it's neat to.
I like the variability of the camps. I like the idea that you can sort of draft, kind of control your own destiny a little bit. Yeah, or work up a strategy that you think might be fun.
Yeah, it's neat. It's really neat. It's cheap, a cheap game, and it's a great like time filling game. Like if you're, I don't know, if you just played a big heavy game and you want to play something light. If you're going to like an event somewhere where there's a lot of games being played, and you only have one other person, you're waiting on some other people, and you're like, hey, you want to bang out a game of this real quick of Radlands, and it's fun, it's engaging, there's a good amount of like thought, and it feels really cool when you get all your stuff to work together.
Yeah, we played while we were waiting on Justin to show up.
Yeah, for another game that we were going to be playing. So it's a great. I mean, it doesn't have to be a filler game. I mean, I wouldn't want to play 5 games of this in a night, but I mean, I don't know. You could if you were just sitting around and you wanted to get really serious about Radlands, and you would enjoy it. But it's really nice to be able to play something with this much strategy going on in it in a short amount of time, and have it neat. Because like I said, there's nothing to say that you're dead when one camp is alive. And like if you've got one camp, they've got all 3 of their camps. There are certainly ways to still win the game, and I've seen it done, and I've had it done to me. So it's fun. But I think that's about all we got to say about Radlands. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys so much for taking the time and stopping by and watching us run through a game like this and ramble on about our thoughts and ponderings over how we felt about it.
Our true feelings.
Our truest of true feelings. But thank you guys so much. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, a couple of those free clicks on the screen really help support out channels like mine and like Sean's. And really appreciate it when you do, but do what's right for you. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. See you on the next video. Take care. Have a great night.
Aloha.
Bye-bye. Hello and welcome back to Organic Cardboard.